Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. As promised yesterday, we are going to be talking about the Blue Eyes support that's been released in Battle of Chaos, of course. This is really interesting because yesterday we talked about the DDs or the DDDs, and this time we're going to be talking about some Blue Eyes support. So it does actually make me wonder, is this going to be a set that focuses on giving us some rival cards? If that's the case, maybe we could expect something to come for Rocket, maybe something for Armed Dragon or Ojamas, maybe some Red Dragon Archfiend support, that would be really great. Or perhaps even Galaxy Eyes, that would definitely be fantastic as well, although maybe some Shark support. However, we have no clue right now, so let's just see what these cards actually have to offer. But before I get started, let me remind you guys to consider dropping a like, share and comment if you enjoyed this kind of video. And of course, subscribe, because it really matters. But without further ado, let's begin. The first card we have over here is called Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, a level 8 light dragon effect monster of 3000 attack and 0 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You must have Blue Eyes White Dragon on your field or in your graveyard to activate these effects. First effect, if a card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you could special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when destroyed, or hand even if not. I think that's quite a very specific card. It's more so acting as a secondary card just in case you lose your big boss monster out there, which pretty much also acts as your wall because it is 3000 attack after all. So it's kind of like this extra security just in case something goes wrong. However, with that being said, it is definitely something I see only being a good 1 or 2 of in the deck at most, just because of the application of the way it's summoned out. Second effect, other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So there we go, it's kind of like a protective card in the sense that it's also a backup card. You're about to lose a bunch of stuff on the board, so in that case, why not just bring this card out and protect them as well as get a big wall of 3000 beat stick. Other than that, it really is quite specific on summon. As for the third effect, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you could target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. I mean, that's really nice and all, but it's not particularly something that is too amazing. As an overall, I do like this card, but there's also something that I don't like about it, and that is the fact that it can't just be an active card. It has to be more so a passive card that responds to something rather than you being able to actively do something. Now, there is one upside to this, and that is the fact that it just needs to be destroyed by battle or card effect, and it doesn't have to be from your opponent, it could be from yourself as well. So if that's the case, maybe you could chain this during the battle phase. You could purposely just destroy your own monster during battle just to bring this card out, which is definitely great of course, but keep in mind your entire deck is filled with a bunch of monsters with 3000 attack anyway. Alternative, the original Blue Eyes, and now this. The only thing you could really do without sacrificing too many life points would be Spirit Dragon, but I don't really see someone sacrificing a Spirit Dragon just to bring this out in response. But who knows, maybe there's some sort of sophisticated play that this card can be incorporated in. Otherwise, let's move on to the next card. We have the Tyrant of D, level 4 Dark Spellcaster effect monster of 1200 attack and 1100 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. So for the first effect, you could send one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. There we go, that's a much better effect, it's more active, and you could also get your resources to the graveyard so that you could bring them back. Second effect, you could discard one Blue Eyes White Dragon and or one card that specifically lists it in its text, then target one Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Really nice, really easy to actually just bring out more monsters. The first and second effects kind of go hand in hand. This is a much better card than the first card already, and we still have one more effect to go. So as for the third effect, if you control a Blue Eyes monster, you can choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. Absolutely amazing, I love that, and it kind of forces your opponents to also destroy this, though if you have this card alongside the first card we just talked about, you can protect this card in some sort of way. So with that being said, you have quite a lot of control in the actual game itself. However, let's move on here to a fusion monster. We have Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, a really interesting combination. Let's see what it does. So we have here a level 8 Light Dragon fusion effect monster of 3400 attack and 2900 defense, requiring a Blue Eyes White Dragon plus 1 dragon monster. I don't think that's too difficult to summon. It must be either a fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by tributing 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon equipped with a fusion monster. Alright, definitely a very unique way of actually summoning this, making it somewhat easier in some sort of way. Just depends on how you play your cards. So first effect, it's unaffected by trap cards. That's really nice. I mean, this is kind of typical of a Tyrant Dragon anyway, so seeing it combined with a Blue Eyes card, it makes sense. Second effect, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. I love that. It's definitely really true to what Blue Eyes actually is, and together with the Tyrant Dragon as well, I think that's absolutely amazing. Now as for the third effect, once per turn, if this card battles at the end of the damage step, you can target 1 trap card in your graveyard, set it to your spell and trap zone. Again, just staying true to Tyrant Dragon being a card that can pretty much work around with traps. In this case, allowing you to also set your own trap. And the funny thing is this, we just got Eternal Light as well, which is pretty much the Blue Eyes equivalent to Eternal Soul. I love it. Everything's just really coming together. However, moving on here, we have Ultimate Fusion, a quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Must be a pretty powerful card. However, during the main phase, fusion summon 1 fusion monster that lists Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material by shuffling fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field or graveyard into the deck, including those listed Blue Eyes White Dragons and or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons used as material from the field. Typical of a Blue Eyes card, just destroying more cards, but of course going for your big fusion summons out there. It's nice, and the fact that it's also a quick play to activate during the battle phase, I think that's really true to the name Ultimate Fusion. However, next up we have over here Apparition with Eyes of Blue, a continuous spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. First effect, when you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand, and if you do, special summon 1 monster from your hand. I mean, as a continuous spell card, that's not bad. It's definitely very nice. You could bring out any monster you want, so if you just splash in some sort of weird powerful card, you could benefit off this like crazy. I mean, think about this for a second. Just play this card with a Light and Darkness Dragon. Imagine how insane that would actually be. I mean, when was the last time you've actually seen a deck that utilized Light and Darkness Dragon? It's pretty rare, right? Because it's so hard to actually summon out that card, so with this actually making it so much easier, I think Light and Darkness Dragon can make a really nice tech for this deck. However, as for the second effect, once per turn you can target 1 face-up monster you control, return that face-up monster to the hand, then you can apply one of these effects based on its original name. So of course, if it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you could special summon 1 monster from your hand. That's nice. I mean, you could bring out whatever you want to obviously change the game. In this case, a Light and Darkness Dragon. Otherwise, if it's a different monster that you return to the hand that's not Blue Eyes White Dragon, you just get to special summon 1 Blue Eyes from your hand. So it's like a switching tactic, definitely nice. However, I like the first effect for the easy summoning. I'm definitely going to be trying out Light and Darkness Dragon. I just really like this card. This is actually a really good support card, and I think it has potential to drive the deck really far up there. And I'm more than keen than ever to actually build a Blue Eyes deck. I wish I had some cards, but seriously, I just don't have anything for the deck whatsoever. And to find those cards, don't even get me started. It's going to be so hard to find, let alone afford. Now finally here, I wanted to talk about another card. We have Guardian Chimera, a level 9 Dark Beast fusion effect monster of 3300 attack and defense. Now, although I'm talking about this alongside Blue Eyes, it is not actually related to Blue Eyes whatsoever. This is completely separate, but it is coming out in Battle of Chaos. It requires 3 monsters with different names. That is insane, though to be honest, it is staying true to the name. It is a Chimera after all. Now it must be first fusion summoned using only monsters in your hand and field as material, minimum of 1 each. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So first effect, if this card is fusion summoned by a spell effect, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters used as material from the hand, and if you do, destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of monsters used as material from the field. Oh, very interesting, I like that. So if you play your cards carefully, you could get the correct benefits you actually need here. It's not necessarily a sophisticated kind of combo that you actually pull out, however it does add a bit of complexity to it in terms of your decision making. As for the second effect, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects while you have polymerization in your graveyard. Now that is very powerful. I mean, it pretty much just gives this card immunity, and to have a 3300 beat stick out on the board, whether it's an attack or defense, I mean, what's there to complain about? Though this card could really work well in a Blue Eyes deck, surprisingly. It just seems to suit the theme. However, that was pretty much it for today's video, so I hope you guys all enjoyed this. My goodness, all of these cards are amazing, so let me know your thoughts. Do you have any ideas for what these cards could actually be used with? I mean, I already mentioned that Light and Darkness Dragon could be used really well with one of the cards, but perhaps you guys have different suggestions. However, with that being said, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a splendid day. I'll see you all next time.